Hello, you can call me Anastasia. The spiritual path I am currently on actually started years ago when I was doing some deep meditations, not any deeper than what any other spiritual path or religious path ever brought me on. I was searching for answers. That was the only way I knew how to get them. So as I was meditating, I heard alarms, I heard wolf howls, and then I heard somebody run up to me and go, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. He is. Hold on." They came back to tell me, "We are going to let you stay, but we have no idea how this is going to end up." And I started asking questions. Where am I? Who is he? And what do you mean you have no idea how this is going to end up? Now, the where am I and who is he, I most likely wasn't ready for it. They didn't give me those answers or I didn't understand those answers. Either way, as far as what do you mean you don't know what's going to happen and how things are going to end up, they told me that usually people who get here that aren't supposed to be here, they're a little crazy. So, they were going to see how it's going to end. Now, as time went on, I realized what I needed to do and the plans that were given to me were to change the world. I had several ideas about how to change the world, but they all have one key component. In order to change the world, we have to change how the world thinks. So that is definitely not something one person can do, especially not overnight. So, what I figured is if I could change the way three people think and they could change the way three people think, then maybe we can manage to change the world. However, this isn't going to happen quickly. It's going to take time. And the more people who reach out and the more people who reach me, the quicker it will happen. So, what is the first step to change? To listen. Now, I'm not just talking about listening to other people. I'm talking about listening to yourself. All of our life, we are groomed and molded by what the outside world tells us. By doing this, we will never learn to see what's there. We will never learn to know what we truly feel. We'll just know what we're supposed to feel, what we're supposed to want, what we're supposed to need. Therefore, before you can learn to listen to what the world needs, or what others need, or even what the higher power needs, you must learn to listen to your true self.
Now, Source has no form, so the mind, raised in a society focused on form every single day, focused on people, places, things, knowledge in the mind, concepts. That's all the grass that's been covering the ground. So you no longer see the ground, you just see the grass. You just see, I am the body, I am the mind. I don't like this relationship, I prefer that one. I don't like this food, I prefer that food. I want to become this, I'm not there yet, etc., etc. That's the grass. That's the stuff that's been growing over your original naked state. The aim of self-realization or God-realization is to mow the lawn. Is to see the ground of being as clearly as you can see your own hand in front of your face. To do this, we generally have to forget all the other stuff, at least for a moment. So see if you can forget who your parents were, who your children are, who your partner is. Maybe I shouldn't start with the scary stuff. Just forget about your job, your bank account. But you get the point. As many concepts as you can notice that you can clear, that you can relax, you can let go of. And don't worry, they'll still be there when you open your eyes. It's just an exercise. Just to let go of all the subtle energy dynamics, all the grass that you've let grown on your naked original state. All the words, all the concepts, all the influences from other people's minds. Just kind of give that away. Forget your human life for just a moment. Forget memory. If you had no memory, who would you be? Without memory, it becomes really hard to claim any kind of identity in any object that appears to consciousness, to God. God is consciousness. God is alive. God is intelligence, awake. And it's formless. But most of us know only form. We've learned only to place our attention on form. To place our attention on the formless, the self, the subject, rather than objects. Most of us have never even for a second been aware of awareness itself. And so at first, it is a little challenging to maintain that. And so that's why I generally say, rather than trying to maintain that, simply for a few seconds at a time, say 2 to 5 seconds, you radically and abruptly, just throughout your daily life, but do it right now, you radically and abruptly and totally commit to dropping any and all thoughts. Just complete full stop. Full stop. Just 2 to 5 seconds. Just commit to it. And notice what remains. Notice what's looking at it. Notice this quality of clarity, of lucidity, of consciousness, of alertness, of awakeness, of I am, of I exist. It's a subtle feeling at first. So you radically give away all thoughts, all concepts, all ownership, all beliefs, just for a moment. Be as naked as you can possibly be with the sense of I exist. Just purely the sense I exist. Just the sense. Not the words. They're just the entrance point. They're the door. They open. But the actual experience, before any words, the pure awareness of I exist, or I am. Awareness of being. Awareness of existing. Just that. It's as if the mind begins to turn inward, back onto itself. Instead of focusing on the world, it becomes aware of itself, as the subject, as that witnessing presence. Once you find that feeling, you can practice. You can practice it a little bit right now, but we won't have enough time to practice it for long periods of time. But as you go home, you can practice more of this. But for now, find the subtle feeling, even if only a few seconds you maintain it. Just a couple seconds of awareness, noticing itself. Awareness saying to itself, I am aware that I am aware.
So, now that you know how to listen to yourself, what is your next step? You should go out to your family, your friends, all the people that shaped you initially, and have them tell you what they need and what you're supposed to do. However, that is what conditioned you the first time, the first play around. So what would I suggest doing? Learn to listen to the higher powers. the angels, your guardians, your spirits that know what you need from a level that is not of this place or this realm. How do you do that? Well, here's a few quick, simple ways to tell when your spirit guides or angels are trying to contact you.
Are angels actually trying to contact you? Let's talk about the 5 ways that angels often speak to humans. Now, what some of you may not know is that there is an angelic light language. Now, this is not a language that is usually easily perceivable by most humans, and so the angels have to be able to get some sort of messages from their 5th and above frequencies to our 3rd dimensional ego consciousness frequency. And we're stubborn. I've said that in another video, but we often need to have things sort of symbolized within our faces so that we will actually pay attention to it. So coming in at number 5, repeating numbers. How many times have you caught like a repeating number and you've been like, that is so weird? And it catches your attention and you wonder, what the heck? Why do I keep seeing 1111? Why do I keep seeing 777 or 444, 333, 222? 222 is actually balanced, by the way. But this is often how these angelic beings can kind of spark our attention. Now, could this just be your brain being wired and noticing it? There are people who do that, okay? This is different when the angels are trying to talk to you, right? It is more of a, you will literally almost feel as if someone is touching your face and doing this and turning you, and then you look down and there it is. Or turning your shoulders to make you look, or to try to get you, they don't interfere with your free will, but to try to coax you to look, and they're trying to let you know like it's going to be okay, or here's what you're missing, or here's what you need to know. And the way that we are built, we are electrical beings, we are mathematical beings in a mathematical universe. So yes, our brains are wired to be triggered by things that are in a sequence. So that is often a very, very powerful way for them to speak to us. You do want to be careful with this though. Always pay attention to your gut. There are times that I see 444 and I'm like, that wasn't an angel message, because I don't feel lit up when I see it, okay? So pay attention to how you feel if you do see a number like that. Remember, it's more about those repeating numbers came out of nowhere rather than there's a building that I go by all the time and it has 444 on it. I know the building is there. So psychologically, somewhere in my head, I know to look over because I know that that building has 444 on it. That's not the same thing as an angel speaking to you. Coming in at number 4, obviously everyone knows this. Angels come with symbols. You might see the shape of an angel in a cloud, or there might be something kind of weird that is a little bit abstract and you saw an angel. Again, that could be a psychological response as well. Seeing white feathers, that's usually a big sign, especially when there's seemingly no reason to be seeing white feathers anywhere. I gave the example one time that when I lived in New York City, we have pigeons everywhere, okay? So like if you saw a feather, it wasn't that big a deal, right? But I'm talking about there's like a pure white feather just in the middle of the grass in your backyard, and there's no seeming reason why it would be there. Same thing with rose petals. This is something that people don't often speak about, and it's absolutely a sign from the angels. It's also a sign of blessings. It is associated with Mother Mary as well. So there's this beautiful sort of divine feminine energy when you smell roses and maybe there are no roses around, or suddenly somebody gives you a bunch of roses and they've never done that before, or seeing the petals around. That's usually a sign from your angels as well. So when you are, the angels are trying to talk to you, really pay attention to what you're doing. What were you thinking? Were you freaking out about something? Were you ruminating about something? Pay attention to that and feel in your gut and throughout your whole body, what does that do for you? Does it give you a sense of peace? Now, if you just look at it and go, feather. Right? Again, maybe you live in New York City and you're like, nah, they're all over the place. Well, then maybe that wasn't a sign from your angels. Some other signs include pennies. People, that feels more kitschy to me. I don't really buy into that. I don't think of the whole pennies from heaven thing. But if you do, that's wonderful. Really, it's about what kind of feeling does it inspire within you. But you'll often have maybe some freakier things happen. Again, be careful with this. We don't want sort of interloper souls coming in and posing as angels and freaking you out and be like, oh, it's an angel, and it's not. But on occasion, if the angels are really trying to get your attention, maybe you're spinning out about something and then all of a sudden you just feel the need to look down and there's a word that says later, okay, or something. It's like, worry about it later. Or your eye might be drawn to something that says relax, ease into it. They'll use actual words on signs. And if you feel the need to look up inexplicably and you see it on a billboard or whatever, that's usually a way that they speak to you as well. People might also, whoever on a soul level is open to it, might speak through somebody. And I'm not talking about mediumship necessarily. I'm speaking about suddenly somebody feels inspired to say something to you and they don't know where it came from. So this is often a way that they will try to speak to you as well. Coming in at number 3, your thoughts. Now, to be clear, angels never interfere with your free will. You'll hear me say that a million times. So nothing happens without our permission. So somewhere deep inside of you, you're okay with getting your messages through your thoughts. And maybe even you hear a sentence or something along those lines. Now, this is why we don't have, skeptics, they're not open to it. And so the angels don't disturb them. They don't come in. I'm sure their angels are sitting around waiting to be called upon, but if you don't, if you're not into it, they're not going to come in and force a thought into your brain, okay? They are protecting you still, whether you want to be a skeptic or not. But if you're open to it, they will talk to you through your thoughts. So you will have a moment. This is something I love to do, especially when I know I'm spinning out and I start getting very into 3D reality and going, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this settled or that settled? Or am I going to have to fight this? I don't want to have to fight this, And I'll just stop and I'll breathe and I'll say, show me or let me know. And sometimes a thought will pop into my head, like I don't need to let them have control over me, or why don't I just do this? The inspiration, okay? The inspiration. They speak to you through inspiration. So it could be a thought that turns into a feeling. It could also just come right from that inspiration. Either way, they're talking to you. Coming in at number 2, dreams. Now, here's the thing with dreams. Angels will try to communicate with you when your ego consciousness is quieted down a little bit, but you still have that subconscious mind. So when angels are trying to come through and help you with some messages, it hits up against our subconscious mind, and there could be weird symbols, and then your mind starts twisting it. So you might say, well, angels don't talk to me in my dreams. I have nightmares. That's not the angels. The angels would never come in. God's angels would never come in and do that to you, okay? So if you want to communicate with angels in your dreams, there is such a thing as dream programming or sleep programming. So you do a meditation before you go to sleep. You ask for Archangel Michael's protection, and you ask for a message from your angels. Now, you may wake up the next morning and be like, wow, I had a dream that I was in my underwear at a press conference. Like, thanks, angels. What was that all about? But remember, it's the same thing as like dream interpretation, right? Just pay attention to how you feel. Or if you wake up and you don't have any, visual memory of a dream, pay attention to the sensations in your body and your emotions. Therein lies your message, and that is how the angels are talking to you. And number 1, angels talk through messengers. Yes, people like me. I know it's kind of weird. It's crazy. What are you going to do? There are angel mediums out there. There are some people who are, there's a difference between a medium, well, what we call as a medium, and an angel medium. Mediums, just medium, they tend to deal with fourth dimensional beings. Angel mediums specifically deal with angels and archangels, all right? So that doesn't mean that your loved ones can't come through in that way. They just come through with their guardian angels. But really, when we as humans come in here and say, hey, we'll give a message to somebody. You got to wire me for it, though. Make sure I'm well equipped with all the tools to do this, and make sure I go through all the life lessons to understand, what people are going through, so that I can develop really deep empathy. And so, I understand where people are coming from, and I can communicate. You got to give me all those things, and I will be a messenger here for you. Yes, the messengers of the messengers.
Thank you guys one more time for watching my video through the end. Once again, all the video clips that were in here are in the description below, along with the page that they're on. Follow them, subscribe to them, like them. If this one spoke to you, go ahead and follow them. There's a reason for it. And of course, if you like what you've seen in my video, go ahead and like and follow me. I'm going to have more videos like this out soon on different topics. Make sure you also comment below what it is that you want to hear about, so I can make sure to find the right videos to start you on your path. And of course, anything you learn, make sure you share or have your friends come back to us so that way they can go ahead and learn too. The only way we're going to change the way the world thinks is one person at a time with a domino effect. Thank you once again and have a wonderful day.